Okay, guys, this is the energy report I'm coming in for here. We're doing a short stint on the cards, and we'll see what comes in as channeled energy on top of this. So I've got 6 cards laid out here from different decks, and we're just going to get started. So, I'm just going to preface by saying that the energy that I report on here is really going to affect above and beyond the readings that I put out this month for April. So it will have a huge influence on how a lot of this energy is taken in, absorbed, dealt with, and spit out, really, how it's processed. So hopefully this will help you as well, kind of run things within the energetic field here. Okay, I'm just going to get right into it. I have the Isis deck, which I always love to dip into because it's very profound and deep. Not only the meanings, but the meanings. We're just going to go from there. The first card that I get in the Isis deck is the Queen of Heaven. And it talks to blessings from the Divine Empress of the Skies. So I'm going to read a little bit from that. Get into that a bit here. Queen of Heaven. This hasn't come out recent or in any of my reads, really. PQR. Okay, there she is. Okay. So here we go. Blessings from the Divine Empress of the Skies. The Queen of Heaven, the Divine Empress of the Skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now. As a man or a woman, you have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. The Oracle of the Queen of Heaven is a confirmation of your feminine leadership and spiritual authority, whether in male or female body. Whether in male or female body this lifetime. Isis means throne, and her presence is and blessing. As Divine Empress of the Sky, she offers initiative light, men and women, great feminine spiritual power. Feminine spiritual authority occurs when power is tempered with mercy, wisdom, compassion, and love. It is inspired spiritual leadership through the heart and the model of power and authority that is based in empowerment rather than force or control. Isis, Queen of Heaven, calls you to ascend to the throne of feminine leadership within your own being, that you may fulfill your life mission and serve the Divine Feminine on this planet from a place of inner spiritual authority. My reading is kind of stuck in this point, so I'm not going to read more here, but give me a minute. I'm going to read a couple sentences. The Oracle is confirmation to step forward in leadership if you've been considering to do so. It might be in connection with others, especially if you are also drew the card of sisterhood. But you are also to realize that you are a capable spiritual leader in your own right, as you trust the Divine Feminine values within. This new model of power is not about assuming authority over another, but about living your truth and integrity and leading by authentic example. There is great power here, and no false sense of responsibility for another, which could drain you and create dependency rather than growth in those you seek to empower through your leadership. Ooh. Yeah, I'm glad I went that extra sentence, because that's really the key there, is living by example rather than by trying to overpower. I can learn a lot of this through my relationship with my son, myself. I can relate highly. Because you're trying to overpower and stop them from making mistakes or get them to do something, and it's futile. You waste so much energy. If you simply lead by doing the right things and being the example, right? This is a lot more in the flow of things. It's more energy efficient. We're not wasting all our energy trying to, cradle somebody in a certain way. And we don't, yeah. I'm going to continue here a bit. You're encouraged to contemplate how you might step more fully into your own authority. Often this requires that we make peace with authority figures in our lives, past and present. How we have experienced those relationships, whether it's supportive, truthful, empowering, or disempowering, shaming, or perhaps minimizing or inflating of our sense of grandiosity. Healthy relationships with authority figures help us recognize where we can learn and perhaps be mentored by another, and where we too can help others learn and grow. I see this. Sorry, I'm just, yeah, it's groovy. Okay, I got it. Yeah, less the overpowering, right? And that is the feminine, because the feminine is supposed to be that loving, caring mother, and she's watching the child. They might walk, turn their head, and then they're going to walk into something, but they're not going to let them fall into something that is tragic, but they will let them make a mishap in order to help them grow. So, now we're not going to look backwards as we're walking forward, are we? We're going to pay attention. So it's like that caring mother that's willing to let the child go through. Yeah, that's kind of the way they're spitting it to me, I think, because I wasn't that mother. I'm still working on that. I'm the mother that says, as screaming at him, look out. That's me. So this is the energy that wants to come to, I feel, help you this week. Well, this month. And there's a lot of deep indigo blue here. Give me a minute. And there's the contrast of light, kind of a, light metallic blue. Just give me a minute. Blessings from the Divine Empress of the Skies. Yeah, and the skies being the key here because of removement, right? Removing ourselves enough to see what needs to happen here. And also removing ourselves enough to let instinct play around in our field. Because sometimes we get too emotionally invested and we are making very emotional decisions, which is imbalanced. And we got to take our logic into account, back it up a bit, and see from that higher sky. She's the queen of heaven, so she sees from way... Oh, man, always. She sees from way up above, beyond, right? The heaven, you see all. So there's blessings coming this way. And this also does speak to intuitive levels, abilities. A lot of abilities are coming through for people, and we're needing to deal with our personal life, or not personal, our lives, period. We're needing to deal with healing in emotional ways in order to open up for areas to flow. And the indigo really is that third eye area that wants to see from that viewpoint, right? Because we're looking from our human viewpoint, and we need to look from ascended viewpoint, and this is what is trying to connect with most people nowadays. So I'll leave that. So that is that is the Queen of Heaven there. Blessings from the Divine Empress. Blessings coming in to our spiritual selves. We're advancing, wanting to... Okay. So, the second card, as we get into here, I've got the Gaia deck. I've got 3 cards from the Gaia. I'm going to read from the first card. The King of Air. So there's energy here, floating around in the King of Air. I feel like, first of all, I'm brought to my logic, right? We need to make sure, again, everything has to be in a balanced harmonic resonance to because they say, well, you can't go by your heart, you can't go by your logic alone, you can't go by your heart alone, but a balance of heart and mind and all of this. So everything has to be in balance no matter. And the King of Air makes me think of, right away the word is logic. So I'm going to read a little bit from him out of the book here. Just give me a minute to find. Okay. So the King of Air, keywords here. Disciplined, ethical, commanding, expert, forceful, precise, rule-oriented, and respectful. A time for ethical behavior, no room for compromise. Seek advice of an expert. Respect the rules or laws. Why are you pushing boundaries? Keep your judgment free of emotional impediment. Don't be drawn to an argument, and don't reject unsolicited advice. So, he is a just and fair leader with a stern and commanding presence. He can be imposing and somewhat intimidating due to his formal manner, but his stern countenance is tempered by a compassion born of his spiritual belief. He is an educated man with a vast knowledge. He is also a wise man who has learned from every life experience. When he speaks, everybody listens. He's also a disciplined man who can at times be uncompromising, rigid, as he has a very fixed belief system. He cannot be corrupted or easily swayed. This may be significant in the news, by the way. He believes rules are made to be followed and should not be broken. The laws of the land were made to keep people safe. I have to stop there because they're giving me more energy for that. A lot of people have been getting away with a lot of stuff here in the past, and I have been preaching this. This energy's been pushing me since last year. Yeah, for a while. And really what I'm getting more is that in the news and whatnot, people are going to start to be reprimanded for the wrongs that they have gotten away with in the past. And there's going to be fierce revolt, because in the past we got away. Why are we not? No understanding of morality or anything like this, because we're powerful people. We should be able to get away with these things. And again, in the news and politics, this might become more prevalent. This is where I see things changing. So this brings hope, right? I have to laugh or I'm going to cry, but it brings hope to areas where we just never seen justice. So justice is going to hit, and those that are very confident and cocky they're going to get away with it are just not. So this is the energy that's hitting me. I had to stop to play that out. I'll continue to read here. So again, the laws of the land were made to be kept. Sorry, I'm going to start over. The laws of the land were made to keep people safe. And the King of Air believes those who break the law should understand the consequences of their actions. This is going to be played out in real time here over the news. There's going to be things, just to, shootings, this kind of thing. It's going to high influence of justice, really, is what I see here. No longer can we go doing irrational things and get away with it. It's just really, the energy does not support this anymore. So yes, he can choose to show compassion in passing his judgment. However, he will not compound the wrong by failing to bring a wrongdoer to account. His judgment is fair but final, and is delivered in accordance to the law and without emotional impediment. So we do not let any emotions get in the way. And a lot of times when I'm channeling, I do feel a lot of this. You have, you drop a pen, it's going to hit the floor. This is a fact, we do it wrong, we're going to get reprimanded. So, and this is the thing, but the person may not, like I said, they may have had a track record of manipulating things to get out of things. So there's no consequence for these people. This is no longer, this is going to catch up with them. To a degree, I'll tell you, it's going to catch up. That's all I'm saying. So again, judgment fair, final, accordance to the law, without emotional impediment. When the king of air appears in your reading, it may represent a need to seek legal counsel or financial advice. And again, finances having nothing to do with it either, because a lot of the people that are getting away with things have financial stature. I'll put it that way. They have the money to pay people. These people are no longer willing to be paid. Now, we've either had shifts. The areas that used to get payoffs are no longer, people have changed and they don't rule by money. They rule by justice, this kind of thing. All of these changes have been happening over the last year and are now finalized. The people are put in the positions. Now they can do the justice, right? I feel like, for the time that really, if we get into the T word, when he was in power, I feel like there were a lot of adjustments going on. And I feel like that was the universal scramble. Okay, we got to get these people in these places where justice can happen, because we got to get moving. And now I feel everybody's sitting down, really showing me a man, like he grabs his coffee, sits down at the desk. Okay, now I'm ready for business. This is where we're at. Okay? So this is where that veil that may be in the higher rankings is going to start to crumble. Okay? Okay, here we go. So, again, is there a point of law or a money matter that you need to have clarified by someone who is not emotionally invested in achieving a particular outcome? If not a matter of law or financial matter, it may be something to do with the rules and regulations that has you concerned. Some sort of infringement on your personal rights. Seek out someone with expertise in the area of concern. You need to know where you stand. I feel like this too will be infiltrated by the public. I feel like the public are going to start to filter up into I'm seeing they're showing it like a dilution into the public. How do you say? Like when you have a glass of milk and then you put either chocolate syrup and then it starts to turn like a light brown, a tan, and then a chocolate brown. It's like the people are going to start to infuse into Parliament the places where they do not like the rulings, the rules, the regulations. We're going to get in there and make some huge changes. I mean, you're hearing whispers of that, but I really do feel an energy force behind that, meaning we will be making change there. This may take quite a while. In fact, we may not hear anything of it on the surface. But within 2 to 3 years, there's going to be a complete overhaul. Governmentally, there's a shifting, absolutely. Yeah, okay, so next. Where was I? Yeah, infringement on your personal rights. People are going to filter in and start dealing with the politicians and working those things out, changing them, scrapping them. Things like a reorganization of laws. We may, right? Because nobody goes over these laws for how long? It's almost like I'm getting a judge going in there. Okay, this law, we used it. Do we need it? Do we not? Out. Take it out. Like taking things that are not useful out, or not, how you say, they're of no regard to our life in this day and age. I feel like there's like a power that's going to come in there and really, overhaul it. Because we need to get rid of the, because where are the records for all of this, right? And why are we keeping, and some of the records are just outrageous. It's from the, 1900s. Like, what are we pulling these laws here for? They don't even relate to the way society, I feel this, especially in the States. I'm really getting from the States. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to be so political, but we just went off on a tangent. You need to know where you stand. Yeah, expertise, an area of concern. I feel like this is going to be an eruption. People are going to be digging. Digging for roots here. Where's this coming from? What are we doing? And what's the purpose? Like, people are not just going to acquiesce anymore. So this is good. No nonsense. Direct to the point. Uninterested in debate or argument for argument's sake. The King of Air finds yourself in a position where you need to embody the same behavior. Don't be drawn into an argument at this time if all you are going to do is repeat yourself. Present your case, be direct to the point, and then don't be drawn in for further debate. If you have said all that needs to be said, it's a waste of time and energy from there. And that's really what we kind of reiterated that from the first card as well. It's like not wasting our energy fighting to overpower. We just do and let other people follow. We lead our way and let other people follow. Because it's futile otherwise. This is interesting because these two cards, even though different, one's a masculine, one's a feminine, by the way, they are very much in sync energetically. Okay, the next card of the Gaia deck, we got another male, King of Earth. What do you know? Air and Earth, ha, I know what this means. When I go to do some healings, okay, I'm just going to tell you right off so I don't forget. I have to connect with what I say the air, which is the universal energies, and the earth, which is the grounding that keeps me stable. That's the balance, right? That's where I come from, the balance of those two energies. So I feel like that's what they're trying to say here. And I feel like that's really what's going to happen with the energy on the earth here. We're going to be very, very, because the energies are trying to connect to each and every individual on it. And they're also, you know, it's our part to ground on the earth and stay stable on the earth. It's not like we're rejecting the air. We connect with the air, but we got to also connect with the earth and be balanced. Just like we got to be balanced with the heaven, the thoughts, and the heart, and all of that. So this is groovy. So the Queen of Heaven, the King of Air, and the King of Earth. So let's get into him here. See what the King of Earth has to say. Okay. Ice cube machine. Sorry, guys. it's just gonna be there. Okay, the King of Earth. Keywords: virile, successful, industrial, devoted, steadfast, authoritative, reliable and dedicated. Take pride in your accomplishments. Pay it forward. Honor your process. Now is the time to make change. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Free yourself from control. Don't be lazy, abuse, and misuse of power. The King of Earth is a very satisfied man, and he has every reason to be. Everything he touches turns to gold. His kingdom is secure and wealthy, and his people are happy and prosperous. While some may consider that his circumstances are born of luck, he is a natural leader, and his success is born of hard work and dedication. He is proud of his accomplishments, and is not afraid to acknowledge them, and more importantly, enjoy them. However, despite any appearance of excess, he is very grounded and realistic. He enjoys abundance because he is wise and careful. The King of Earth is not afraid to be open or candid because he has no insecurities or emotional baggage to feed doubts and fears. He is only too willing to share in his success and give advice and guidance without hesitation when asked. He does not fear that doing so will give rise to a competitor or rival. He believes that everyone is entitled to the same opportunities. He is clear-minded, reliable, someone you can trust and depend on. He's also wise and intelligent, and these factors keep him at the forefront of all that he does. On a business level, some may see him as boring and pedantic, but his methods are sound. He has found my breath wanted to go in a different direction. He has found a process that works for him and one that pays dividends. Why change what yields results? If this method fails, then he is willing to change. But if the methods work, then change is not required and is an unnecessary waste of time and energy. He is not one to try and fix that which is not broken. The King of Earth may appear in your reading to tell you that it is okay to rejoice in your success. All too often, We are made to feel that taking pride in our success equates to being boastful. And this can lead to feelings of guilt and decision to stay safe. Man, my lips don't want to move. Just give me a minute. This can lead to feelings of guilt and a decision to stay silent. While you choose your moments and be respectful of others' feelings, the King of Earth suggests that you have every right to celebrate your achievements and take pride in your accomplishments. If you have the resources and means to enjoy yourself, then do so. There is no need to ask for anyone's permission. This is, after all, why you have worked so hard. The King of Earth may also symbolize the need to take a methodical approach that you will know will work for you, and at this time do not deviate or take a chance on trying something new. Do not allow the opinions of others to sway you. Instead, trust in your usual process, especially if it has always worked for you in the past. So I'm not going to go into blockages because I don't feel the energy wants me to express that. Let me look here and see what I got channeled. Yeah, strength is what I get mostly from the King of Earth here. I feel a great strength to push forward in the ways that have worked. In the ways that don't work, we don't waste our time trying to fiddle or, yeah, the whole thing. It's interesting because they want me to link these two. Because we have the logic coming from the King of Air. And really what I'm getting is a great inner strength from the King of Earth. And those two are unbeatable, right? And then we have, you know, the Queen of Heaven, which is really, if we put it down to one little thing, is our instinct, I feel, coming down to connect as well on whatever level. Like the people are gaining metaphysical powers on every level as they go forward here, and that is all part of that process. Last and final card for the Gaia deck, and I have two clarifications. Look at this. King of Fire. Look at them go through the elements here. So we have the King of Air, and I shuffled. I tell you, I shuffled, and I don't even... This is uncanny. You know what it's telling to me, though? Because, right, we are really, energetically, I don't know if I've ever said this publicly, we're going from a masculine-dominated society to a feminine-dominated society, okay? Now they're showing me three kings here. King of Air, King of Earth, and King of Fire. These are the ones that are going to have to adapt the most, especially if you're masculine. If you're feminine, intuitive, you probably will get drifted in the right ways. But these three, oh yeah. You may have to look in your politicians what their horoscope signs are, what their elements are, because this will be interesting. But nonetheless, all three of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not four. But it's funny that well, we'll see. I got two more cards. I got an animal card and a wisdom card that may speak to the King of Cups, because he's the only one missing. But I'm going, what does he come from? Heart. And that one is never wrong, really. Again, but he's the king, so he knows there's a balance that needs to be struck. When you're the knight and you come forward, that's the guy that's overly emotional and he gets tripped up. But the kings, and these are all kings, by the way, they know how to balance. So these ones are, I feel, this is my guts here. I mean, it's channeling, but I'm feeling, I'm kind of commingling with the energies here. I'm not quite channeling, but I'm getting like a guttural instinct about the masculines. And this is really all the masculines are going to have to come from a higher feminine center. And we all do have the masculine and feminine traits within each person, no matter if you're male or female. And what percentage you carry is how you live your life, and that needs to be balanced. And that's all part of the energetic fluxes that have been going on. They're kind of trying to drift you into a balance. So if you're a feminine and you're overly masculine, you really do have to take and balance that out evenly. So if you got more masculine, it's going to be harder for you to get back into your feminine side. Or vice versa. If you're masculine and you got overly feminine traits, you're going to have to balance back out the masculine. If we have a complete rejection where we hop right into the feminine side, it's going to be even harder. There's going to be a refusal to want to do this. But that's where where they want you to be. The less flux, the less extreme emotions, the less extreme problematic things that can happen in the body, all of this. Wow, good stuff. Okay. King of Fire, let's go. So we started with air. That's Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Earth, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. And here's me saying, well, we're not going to deal with any elements specifically. And they go right back in there. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, where's the King of Fire? 260. Okay, King of Fire, here we go. Keywords: proactive, dauntless, inspirational, vital, powerful, passionate, charismatic, involved. Key phrases: ground and focus your passion, be more than an ideas person, remain involved from start to finish. Every leader is part of a team. Delegate. Be dauntless. Respect your position by respecting others. Show your appreciation and keep your temper in check. Yeah, this guy's a little bit of a fire. Yeah, he can get fired up. Okay. The King of Fire is charismatic leader. He's passionate, and his passion is something others find inspiring because it is focused, grounded, and creative. He's a perfect team leader. He can draw to him the people who are necessary for a project to be completed, and every single person will want to play a part to help bring his vision to life. Some may see the King of Fire as an ideas man, but they only have to observe, and they will soon discover that he is very proactive. He likes to be involved, to get his hands dirty, and he will remain involved from inception to completion. The King of Fire is also fearless, dauntless. He is lion-hearted and the vital heartbeat of his court. He's not afraid of hard work, but he also respects and moves through his day with an awareness that he is only a part of the whole. He is a necessary part, but still just a part, and one that can be replaced if ventures fail. And this is why the King of Fire works tirelessly to fulfill his role. And despite his gregarious ways and charismatic nature being at the core, a very unassuming and respectful man, it is why he calls upon and makes use of those around him. He understands that he is but one man. And in order to rule well, he must be willing to delegate. In essence, he must be willing to share his power and his glory with others. If the King of Fire appears in your reading, it symbolizes the wisdom of knowing that even those who are leaders are part of a team. And that, I'll tell you right now, up to this point, is lost on those people up there. They're not team players. But this is the energy switch that's going on, right? So we're flipping a switch here from individuals to team players. And that changes the dynamic. Okay. Every wise leader has people around them who perform tasks that help them to keep things running smoothly. This same wise leader respects their team and appreciates the efforts made on their behalf. He symbolizes the importance of being interested and involved from beginning to end. And he asks us not to start something, delegate, and then walk away. So, give me a minute. All of these kings have an integral role in the changing of history at this point in time, is the sense I'm giving. They may come in one individual, they may come in a team of individuals. It's their traits that they work together for a common goal that will make things move quicker, faster, stronger. they're trying to tell me this. They're saying it comes in threes. I say, yes, it does. So we have a king of air, king of earth, king of fire. This may be something that may come out in the news here. We may have an earth sign, an air sign, a fire sign, predominantly coming forth in their own fields, lawyers, politicians even, for the good side here we're talking. Being ruled is not going to be... They are highly being ruled by they're being driven intuitively. They're highly being, by purpose, is coming forth to do, to accomplish. They will not fail. They will succeed in what they do. It's like their rise to the top. They finish, complete their mission, and then they slowly recede. It's like each one of these, and again, it may come as one person that stands out among the rest. I feel like one of them is glaringly a lawyer. Literally, that's what I'm getting. A lawyer that is fighting for right amongst a lot of wolves here that just no morality or integrity here, but standing up for what's right. Yeah, there's going to be three individuals that are deal with situations in the politics, in society, in the world today even, that are going to be highly guided, I feel, in the right way, absolutely. And they are going to have a lot of hardships as they go through this time, because it is not going to be popular belief what they're going after. But it is for the highest good of humanity that they accomplish these things. Give me a minute here. And this king of fire, you will know him by his temper, because he will get fired up. Though, if he has to talk to media or anything like that, he will keep his composure. The king of earth, he may not be showcased that much, is the sense I'm getting. And the king of air will be, because he'll be talking to the media. He'll be using the media to back him, to get them to do what he wants them to do. Basically, puppeting. Yeah. King of air. I think I know who that is. He uses the media as a toy to accomplish, and it's very successful. Again, he is guided. So there's an air. Yeah, and the earth sign is really behind the scenes. You don't see a lot of him. You may not see a lot of him. He may even live on the eastern, I say eastern, but Asian countries. This wasn't the reading I expected. Give me a minute. Yeah, so not a soft energy, a strength that they're coming from, but we're being ruled by our money here. So this, again, there are challenges each of these men have to conquer individually before they gain their purpose. So this may be seen more in the air and earth signs than the fire. Because the fire is really going to rise when he is running to the finish line here, and then you see him cut through the ribbon. That's when you're going to see the king of fire. The king of earth, he's always behind the scenes working. So you're really not going to see him, his face in the presence here. I feel is somewhat political, but anyway. And the king of air, yeah, it depends on his mode, but he may be a, dare I say, a Gemini. Because there's two sides, because what I wanted to say was there's two sides. There's a quiet and a boisterous, and so within that we are very, this is the quiet time, but he will be coming out. Once the king of fire starts coming, it's going to threaten this king of air. Man. And he's going to start speaking. And they're all going to challenge. And little do they know, they're kind of competing in the male-oriented way. But little do they know that the universe is behind them, trying to get them to complete their missions, and they're going to do it. Okay, I think I'll stop there. This, again, not the reading I expected at this time, but nonetheless, you may instinctively be able to figure out who these people are. I'm not going to mention it. I pretty much mentioned the air guy. He's out there. They are very prominent people in the universe, in the world. Next. Okay, so into the wisdom deck. We're going for a little bit of intuitive knowledge here on self-help. Meditation, what do you know? So inner wisdom, as I go into meditation. Yeah, I'm going to read from the book on that too. Just to see, get a little extra here. So it says, be still and listen to the sounds of the pulsing energy as life force inherent in all things sings a gentle song to your sweet ears. And that is kind of the pulse of the universe. Watch what everybody's doing and how things are going around. Because things are changing and things are shifting. And even though some places it's not going in the right ways, there's an underground current here that is really going to get things going in the way that it needs to be, is the sense I get. So in the darkest, inky black night, Nyx, make my magic and weave it into the world. This is a time for non-action. Do nothing. Find quiet within your heart and wait. All will be revealed when the time is right. Now is the time for quiet contemplation. You won't miss anything if you stay quiet. Be still and know that Nyx, the goddess of night, is always with you as you discover your magic in silence. So a sense that, okay, interesting. I intended this reading to be for everyone, and I do believe that it is so. But I am seeing it on a global scale for world leaders, okay? So I'm going to go from there and then back down to everyone else. I feel like these world leaders right now are being quiet. They're because one, they're thinking and planning and plotting and you know doing things behind the scenes. It's not the time to be frantic, but there will be a slow rise to action. Okay, again, the King of Fire. So the fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, someone who has this in their chart, is going to be the first out of the gate. And he is going to bring up, now, the sense I'm getting is he really doesn't care what anybody else thinks. He doesn't care. He has a plan he wants to put in place, and he's going to do it. With or without your help, I'm going to get it done. Now, when he starts making news, if I can say it that way, the King of Air is going to be right on his tail, right? Because usually the King of Air, he's first out the gate. But, oh, this guy got ahead of me. No, I can't have that happen. So the King of Air, in all his ego, comes out. And he's gonna follow up the King of Fire because we can't have this. What are you doing? What's going on? How come you didn't tell me what you're doing? Da, da, da. Okay? Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Let this unfold. Okay. So this is what I see. Now, the King of Earth, he is kind of the independent. He is doing what he's doing. He don't care who's with him, who's not. He's doing what he's allowed to do, and that's it. And he don't need your approval. He don't need your money. He don't need nothing. So that's the Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. He's in the background just doing his thing. He's at the same pace all the time. Again, he's not going to start booting it like the air, and he's not going to start at a huge trot like the fire. But he's still just continuing his pace like he always has. In fact, he's working right now. The King of Air and the King of Fire have stopped. They're kind of changing plans. No, the King of Air, he's always been working. He's still working. He's going to continue to work after these guys are gone and worn out. This is, okay? So, boom. There's your three. Now, we go back to the Queen of Heaven. Blessings from the Divine Empress of the Skies. Now, don't forget the universal energy is trying to feminize these men. Now, just bear with me here. So they're trying to balance out that masculine energy that these men have, okay? And I do see them all as men. masculine figures. The air sign, not having it. We do not prize any feminine side to us. We do not entangle ourselves in this. It does us no good. It's hairy-fairy. We don't need. So there's very high resistance from the King of Air to bring in any of that feminine energy. But guess what comes in with that is instinct. But this man does not know that he is full of instinct. But there's an outright refusal for the feminine. King of Earth. He understands this. He knows yin and yang. He's very centered with all of this energy. He is balanced long before the concept ever passes these two. Okay? So in a sense, spiritually, the King of Earth is quite more spiritually advanced than the other two. King of Fire. Where does he sit? The sense is I have feminines around me, but I am not a feminine. I get very distinct energy there. So there's, again, a light resistant, not a heavy resistant like the King of Air, but a light resistant to the feminine aspect within. Again, this is not going to help them gain forward. So my sense here, just bear with me if this plays out. I don't know. I'm feeling highly driven to go with this energy field. The King of Earth is really going to outshine. It's like the tortoise, and the King of Air and Fire are the hare. Okay? There's things that are going to trip them up along the way because they're going a little fast here. Things are popping up, and they're not quite cool of mind like the King of Earth. So he's really going to be going slower overall. But while these two are tripping up, he's just going to kind of keep going past. That's all I'm going to say about that. So the Queen of Heaven, she is putting her energy down upon all of these three in equal balance. And to the degree that they resist is also to the degree of success that they are going to attain. So if one crashes and burns, it is because there is a complete refusal to balance out the feminine side. And this will be highly, highly visual, highly seen, depicted. I feel like the King of Fire can somehow get a little bit in there, but I don't think he's willing to do the complete balance of 50-50. Give me a moment. We might have some temper arise in him, but in the overall or the interim, if he does have time to sit and think, there's a rationale here that understands, but I see a temper coming out in both the air and fire. Okay, we're going to move past that. The animal card to end it off. Again, guys, this was not the reading I expected, but nonetheless, somebody will get use out of it, because no matter what energy I shoot out, there's a place for it. That's why I shoot it out. So, the card we get, wow, is 5. The Wolverine, talking about fierceness. We have a warrior here on top of a Wolverine that is ready for battle. And it is interesting to me. I feel that was very planetary. Now if we go back to the people. Again, masculine and feminine here. If we really break down the air, we're talking about logic, dealing with our head. A lot of society has learned to deal with logic, not put any emotion into things, and it works out okay. But are we content and balanced in a way from the heart? No. The King of Earth, what does he have to offer? The strength and power. I feel that's the person that goes into work and does the daily grind. That's what I'm feeling from the King of Earth. They're just doing their thing, going into are we happy? No, but we got a lot of money and we got a lot of things and but are you happy? No, but I got a lot of things, you know what I mean? This is kind of a wheel that we're on here with the King of Earth. Now the King of Fire, he's very, again, passionate. We kind of want to work so that we can have that explosion of passion at the end. So this is the guy. Now these are kings. I'm kind of going from a knight's perspective. But from a knight's perspective of fire, we're the guy that wants to work all week so that we can party all weekend. right? That's the Knight of Fire. Now the King of Fire, he's the same way but on a more subtle level. I don't want to work all my life. I want to, enjoy my life a little bit and want to go take vacations and da da da. So he's trying to find that work-life balance, is what I get from him, King of Fire. The King of Earth doesn't have the balance. The sense I'm getting here, we don't have the balance. We're just working. And we enjoy our work. We may be in a mode where we enjoy our work, lucky us. So we're doing that. And we're kind of throwing everything else aside. King of Air, he's all over the place, man. But again, not really coming from his heart. He's not meant to come from his heart. He's an air. So he's worried about the boundaries, who's doing what, how is it going, da 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 da, that kind of thing. So in the big scheme of things, this is kind of the characteristics that we can take through our life. We can be the King of Air, pulling our heart right out and making decisions and being successful. But again, the love, not that it may not be there, it just may not be passionate love, right? The King of Earth, same thing. Well, we step that right aside. King of Fire, he wants to make time for it, but he has to learn how to balance. Meditation, taking more time to ourselves, to be quiet in contemplation, to realize some things. Queen of Heaven is the instinct that the universe wants to bestow upon you at this time. Now, that is the reading for the energy report. Again, it was a little more political global than I expected, but nonetheless, there it is. Now, I will be doing live healings coming up here in the near future. I am putting a little post, little mini announcement just to notify people of that in case they don't watch the reading. Yeah, I'll be working on those because really spiritually in my sphere, working on things here and realizing there's a lot of energy being pushed to people to heal. Emotionally, purging, this kind of stuff. It is the bottom of the barrel we're at here. And we got to get funneled through it. And we cannot take our battered and beaten emotions with us. We have to purge them. And unfortunately, that may come to physical harm in the body if we do not purge them properly, do not know how. And this could be, a lot of people may not know how. I didn't for the longest time. And you end up in hospitals and breakdowns, emotional breakdowns. This is what happens. So if you are one of those people that at this time are having a hard time with your emotions, they're up and down and all over the place, or overwhelming, you can come into one of my live nights. This is what I'm going to be working to relieve on people, along with other physical things going on. So basically going to be working with getting people's emotional currents flowing so that we can get them funneled through the right way. Now, I also work on physical ailments, chronic pain, that kind of thing. So if you have things that are really, like especially, they're showing me the head here, so somebody may relate to that. Like chronic headaches, things that make it almost impossible to think straight, to whatever. Come in and we'll see what we can do. I don't guarantee anything, but I've been on a roll lately, so I'm willing to take that outward. And that's what they're saying. They're kind of prepping me with people here, and we're going to take it outward and see if we can't clear some more. Because the more I clear, the more effective I get at it, this kind of thing. And I'm feeling pretty okay with this. So, yeah, watch for. Subscribe, first of all, and make sure you get the notifications. And then we'll go from there. Real soon, like this week, I'm going to put out these videos. Not these videos, but yeah, these notices. And then it will be within a week, I'll be coming in to do a live. I'm going to be doing a crisis report as well. And this is going to be revolving around people who may not resonate with any of the horoscope readings, but they need advice or spiritual help in some kind of way. So they're just going to guide me on that, and I'm just going to spit it out. So I don't know if I'm going to go live with the crisis. I might go live with the crisis reports, or, well, I'll be going live with the healing, obviously, but I might go live with the crisis report as well. I'll see how it goes from here. But that will be within the next week or so. And again, I can't announce it because I have so much, because the energetic frequencies are throwing so much at people now. And you gotta understand, I know what's going on with everybody else. So you just can't plan for things, because it's like you gotta, so I'm not even gonna set it in stone, because if it's past a week, it's too far ahead, I can't plan. So that's my game plan so far, is to unplan a live night and a healing night, and the live will be around crisis that somebody needs help with. If that's your deal, you know, then maybe we'll get the energy out through reading in that way. So these are what I'm going to plan to do this month. I don't know if I'm going to stay with it. We'll see what happens here, what I get guided. A lot of the traffic in the Miru room, I don't think anybody gets access to that, frankly. I know there's a couple people, my friends, but there's no access, there's no communication, there's no back and forth. So I'm really going to have to just put the notices on YouTube, and that'll be that, because there's not a lot of traffic in that Miwi room. So again, this reading did not go, but I can't plan them. I should know this by now. It was very political, very, or maybe I'm saying too much there, but it's a very world leader, if I can hint, oriented. So, I don't know, somebody there needed that info. And really, the sense that I get is these people, okay, one more time. These people feel like they are doing their own agenda, but they don't quite understand that there's a higher agenda overall than that that's going to really peek through here. And each one is kind of up in the ante on the other, and the quicker they go to the goal, it is all working in a way that they don't even understand. So this is the sense that I'm getting. Queen of Heaven, she is above all. She is the Empress of the skies, and she's giving blessings from above. And there's a lot of metaphysical properties people are going to be tapping in on. Like, how do you say, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clair. All your clairs, telepathy, things are going to be opening wide. And this is going to be discovered. So again, talk to your neighbor, because they're going through it too. It's a guarantee. Like, you know, people just need to talk more about this. And there are places, you know, maybe there's even groupings that you can openly talk about stuff. Because there is places that you can talk to people about this. Don't feel that you can't talk because you're crazy. Because you're not crazy. You're evolving. And you're moving towards the universal energies that really are supposed to be there, that have been squashed. So again, heaven is coming down to earth, and you're going to start seeing like they see, and it's just going to be a different universe altogether. So stay still for a while and enjoy the quiet before the storm, because there is a storm here coming. This fierceness with this Wolverine, I feel, is these world leaders coming together, kind of butt heads. But, and again, unbeknownst to them, there's a power greater that is really running the show, and that's really what's going to happen. They're really going to inadvertently fall into a trap that is for everyone's highest good, when that may not have been where they were coming from, but that's where they're going to fall into. This is what I'm getting. So that's interesting. So take care, guys. That is your energy report. Again, live readings, they will be coming up within the week, and keep your eyes peeled. Take care, have fun, and be kind.